pumpkin has fully grown. I forgot about it. Well, I kept remembering that I hadn't finished it, and I thought there's not much longer left of October, so I'd better get a move on. So I knitted in the round just till I got a size I was happy with. Once I got to up here, I just started to decrease every few rounds, and then I used my needle, an actual needle, to cinch it in. So I've got a lovely top, and then the bottom had a lot more stitches because of when I cast on. Could have done it the same but opposite, as in like cast on a smaller number of stitches and then increase my stitches. I didn't think of that, so I just cinched it in, but it doesn't matter. I mean, a pumpkin looks like that anyway, so I think that's perfect. I'm going to make some leaves for the top, I think. Well, no, I definitely am, and a stalk, into stalk. When I stitch the leaves on, I think what I'll do is just do a stitch through it so that it's got more of that kind of shape to it. I also was playing about with that nice yarn there. It's the sort of chenille yarn, and I wondered if I could make a little, like a tendril, because you often get tendrils on pumpkins. I'm not sure if it would be that colour though, would it? It would be like brown or green actually. Anyway, I just wondered if it would work. It kind of does, so I might play about when I choose other colours for the top and do some tendrils. That wasn't a good idea because it's the wrong colour. So I've got, stay there, I've got this pack of wool. It's called yarn, cotton yarn by Hello, and it's all autumnal colours, and I've just noticed the sort of olive green that looks absolutely perfect with my orange, my really burnt orange. That is perfect. There's also like a forest green, but I think this olive green is going to be perfect. So I think what I might do is, I was thinking I would crochet the leaves just because it's easier to play about with crochet, for me anyway. So it's back to the drawing board a little bit to go find a pattern for some leaves, and a mad rush to get them finished before autumn is over. Well, actually I was thinking Halloween in mind, but it's not just going to be for Halloween, is it? I've got plenty of time then. I can work on it through November, there's no rush. But yeah, give myself a little bit of a job there. I've been storing it in my lovely big basket bag, my round one, which is making me happy still. It's so pretty and cosy and soft and everything. I've made another little one of these baskets, but it's a little bit different. I didn't bring it down, I forgot, so I'll show you it a bit later on in the video. I have somehow managed to make a couple of leaves. They're not identical, but nothing in nature is. I just made it up. I did follow a tutorial on YouTube for a leaf and I wasn't happy with it at all. To me it just looked like a circle, so I started with the same concept of a magic circle in the middle, and then I just changed the stitches that I did. So I did like some double crochets here, some half trebles, then some trebles to make it come out a bit, and then reversed in height wise on the stitches coming down. I did a couple of trebles at the bottom of that to get the point, and then just did the same on the other side. So I've got my two wee leaves. I just need to stitch them on or attach them somehow, and I'm going to maybe try and do a little tendril with the green as well. So I'm going to get them on. They're looking good. I'm going to try and do a little tendril. So I think I just need to do a row of chain stitches and then double crochet into them. And then I think normally crochet wants to spiral, so it should spiral by itself, I think. I must say it's really nice to just sit and have a play. I haven't done this for such a long time. I miss crocheting. I do like it, and I like being creative, and I know the importance of being a little bit creative every day, and whilst I do it for work stuff, I haven't been doing it for pleasure at all, and I want to rectify that. I want to get back into doing all the things that I enjoy, because they've kind of slipped by the wayside a little bit. And I think now that it's autumn coming into winter, I say that because it's nearly November, which is more wintry than autumn, I think. Obviously gardening is one of my main passions as well, and I spend so much time outdoors, even if it's just sitting on the doorstep to have a cup of tea or something, and I really miss not being able to do that in these darker, colder, wetter months. I think that's why I find these months so hard, because I can't do that. If I could still do that and be in sunshine and it be bright and warm, I think it'd be okay. And I know that some days I can do that, and I will do that this year. I'll make a point to do it a bit more. But I think that's what highlights just how my hobbies have fallen by the wayside sometimes, because I'm going to notice it in the darker months, that I'm not particularly doing any crafty stuff. So I'm going to get back to that very soon. I am struggling for time a little bit at the moment. I mentioned in my last video that I've started a university course. I'm still finding my feet with that in terms of my routine and fitting it all in, but I'm feeling a lot less stressed and a lot calmer this week than I was when I filmed the video before. I was a little bit overwhelmed. I think doing the course, it's going to be even more important that I take little moments like this to do things for myself, so that it's not all work and study, because that would not be fun. I need little fun, whimsical moments. This is not spiraling. Why is it not spiraling? Maybe it is a little bit. I'll continue. Yeah, I'll see how I get on. I might have to make a couple of these. Maybe if I crocheted tighter, it would be more inclined to spiral. I'm going to put this aside for now because I need to go and get a bit of work done, but I've made my spirals, I've made my leaves. All that needs to be done is for them to be sewn on, and just for me to run a stitch down the middle as well to give it a squish. But I think that looks great, and I really like the texture actually. There are no rules as to what pumpkins should look like, or leaves, so if you fancy having a go yourself, don't worry about what it ends up looking like, because nature is nature, it does what it wants anyway. So there's my little pumpkin, and I will show you when I finish it. I've just finished a lovely little collection of some of the small fabric baskets, and I've tried to stick to kind of autumnal feels as well, but this red dot was screaming out to be used. It's a little bit Christmassy, isn't it? But I thought it'd be really nice for this time of year, and that mustard floral goes so nice with this floral that I've got now. The mustard corduroy, sorry, goes so nice with the floral inside with the mustard on it. Loving that one. And I've got a pink corduroy with that lovely vintagey pink tilde, and this fabric which I'd forgotten about, which is very pretty. I think this one looks really sophisticated, very smart. And then that lovely florally kind of coppery colour, rose gold floral, teamed with some metallic gold on the inside, which is just nice. So these will be lovely for small projects, but I also think you can use these for storage in general. So how nice would they look stuffed full of little yarn balls? You could put your cotton yarns in there, or your scrappy bits for when you're working on your next scrappy project. They're just so perfect. These ones are so cute and such a good little size. I'm going to try and get these photographed as soon as I can and into my shop. I've been trying to spend a bit more time lately doing some things that are a little bit more restorative, a little bit more for me, and a little bit more just because. I've been getting into a bit of a better rhythm with my studies and watching my university lectures, which I'm really enjoying. I am very much enjoying learning about all the aspects of archaeology. I do have a few assessments as well, but I'm trying to not stress too much, and I feel a lot better than I did in the last video. The first month of my course I was very overwhelmed, but I've now been given information for the assessments and I know what I'm doing, and I think it was just more the worry of the unknown that was getting me a bit worked up. So I'm very glad to say I feel a lot more relaxed at the moment about my studies. I've been trying to do a bit more in my life just to relax a bit, just so that it's not all stressy and studying and stuff. So I've been doing a few quiet little things around the home, around the garden, and just taking a little bit of time out to relax and time for me. I am still going with my book. I'm getting into it more now, getting into it more now that I have made time to actually read it. There's a surprise. I've been taking myself off and just going to lie on my bed for a little bit, maybe when dinner's cooking or whatever, and reading my book. And it feels like I've given myself permission not to be sitting watching a lecture, or not to be doing university reading, or not to be doing other kind of work for my business. I'm taking time out completely, whether it's just 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It does make a difference, of course it does. And I think I've been caught in the very bad trap of doom scrolling too much. And I've noticed that now that I'm studying, I'm not doing that quite so often, which is good. And I've always said I do have time, I just didn't use it wisely, and I'm trying to use it more wisely now. So yeah, getting back into my book, I would say I'm 2/3 of the way through. Maybe I've had to renew it for the second time as well, but hopefully this will be the last time. When November comes, that is when I look to start reading maybe some Christmassy books. So that'll be quite nice, because I'm quite a slow reader, or I can be quite a slow reader if I've got other things on. So it's nice to be able to fit in a Christmas book without rushing and without it sort of continuing too far into January. I don't mind a little overlap, but it's always nice as well to be able to read 2 or 3 books, Christmas books as well, and sometimes I don't manage to read very many. So I've starting them earlier, so that means November. What else have I been doing? I have been working on my little pumpkin, which you'll have seen. I have been popping out to the garden every now and then, just getting little jobs done here and there. I've cleared out the greenhouse, cleared out the tomatoes. That's the end of an era. You know, the summer's over when the greenhouse gets cleared. I will be gradually cutting things down in the garden as well, but I can't bear to cut anything that's still green, so until it's properly dead, then it stays. And if it's dead and very pretty, then that gets to stay. Like things with pretty seed heads, they get to stay until the spring. So I'm just gradually working around my garden, but I went out the other day to pot on something, a houseplant or something, and I ended up staying out for half an hour just doing another job, and it was so lovely. I really enjoyed it, and I love that feeling. I have just finished some little fabric baskets as well. I thought from the big ones I did last time, I'll do some little ones. It's always nice just to chop and change. So I'm just going to show you very quickly what I've got. I've got this beautiful one. I love this fabric. It's like a thick, is it a canvasy type of linen-y fabric? And I've teamed it with the grey gingham, and I think that is such a nice combination. It's very grown up. These are perfect little sizes, these baskets as well. I think I've already mentioned that in the video before. I've taken the photos now and I brought down all of my yarns, my cotton yarns, just to use as a little prop. I'm loving this one, and I don't really plan it when I'm cutting them out what direction the stripes will go in. So I've got the basket and the handle going opposite stripes, which wasn't planned. I just let them go the way that depends how much fabric I've got and where I cut my bits out of the fabric, but I think that's lovely. And I've got a pink corduroy one as well, same idea, the stripes are going in different directions. I've got this gorgeous one, it's such an autumnal, lovely fabric. I love that shade of sort of pinky, almost brown, and the dots inside that one. And I've got this one, which is the same as the big basket that I've got. So I've got the big massive version of this one, and I used the same lining, which is such a fun floral, that one. And this one, which I think is just so pretty. Look at the red dots on that floral, so nice. I'm making the most of these dark autumnal days. The fairy lights are on. As soon as they go on, the mood in here just changes, and it just uplifts it so much. I love it. Can't actually remember now if I've filmed my little pumpkin now that I've got my bits and bobs sewn on. So they're sewn on. I am going to make a little stalk because I just think a pumpkin needs a stalk. So I'm going to look out some more of the cotton yarn, maybe in like a pale brown colour, just like a dried stalk, and make a little stalk. And it also hides the messy bit in here where I've sewn things on. But I'm really happy with that, and it looks great sat over by my fireside. So there's that, and I was also going to show you something else which I want to show you before finishing this video. So I think I was chatting about my basket and I said I had something else to show you. So this is my big one, which is huge and I love it, but I want to show you I've made a baby one. How cute is that? I love this so much. I was just going to put my pumpkin in it there, but will I? Yeah. It's about the pumpkin size actually. I'll just pop that in it to give it some shape. Isn't that so nice? I love that so much. So this one would be perfect for any small projects, for scraps of yarn, for minis, for how cute would these baskets look with your advents in them. I think I'm going to make some more baskets, probably in the smaller size. I just think they are so useful. I am not doing any Christmassy advent swaps or anything this year, so I don't have anything like that to put in one, but I think they would be incredible. And I've got some new fabrics on the way, and I think they're going to look beautiful at Christmas time too. So I have got some future plans, and these little baskets are in it, as well as a few other products which I am trialing at the moment. I'm just doing a little bit of sort of mocking up some stuff in just like some plain calico fabric, just to make sure I'm happy with what I'm doing. So when the fabrics arrive, I'm hoping to make some new things that I really hope you guys love. I can just notice Joshua's left a Pepsi bottle sitting out, which doesn't look very pretty. It's gingerbread flavour, which he was desperate to try. It's disgusting. So that's my little basket. Speaking of Christmases and Advent things and stuff, I haven't really brought it up before actually, to be honest, I keep forgetting, but I am not doing a Christmas box this year. I decided last year that I wasn't going to do one. The market is so saturated, and the way things were going, it was just apparent that they just weren't selling very well. So I thought, I'm not going to put myself through that stress this year of trying to push and push and push, which is a horrible feeling. So I'm having some time off from doing Christmas boxes, which is quite nice, but a little bit scary, because obviously I would have normally sold quite a few of those. But what I do have in my shop is Lucky Dip boxes, and this is just a box of goodies. I think I've got 3 different sizes now, a small, medium and a large, with the different price points accordingly. And this is a box that you receive packed full of bits and pieces, and it can be things like stock from my shop, old stock, stuff I've bought in and just not got round to selling or using, excess stock that I've had for previous boxes, and that could be Christmas themed or any of the other themed boxes that I have done over the years. So you get a box full of lovely little surprise items, and it can be anything from, could be something that I've handmade just to try something out, or it could be, like I say, stuff that was bought for going in other boxes. So it could be journaling supplies, knitting, sewing, crochet supplies. What else do I sell? All the stuff that I sell in my shop, all the different categories. So you get a really big mixture of items in your box. So if you are looking for something like a little advent for yourself, or a gift for yourself or a crafty friend, these boxes would be perfect. Everything will come individually wrapped, so it is a nice surprise when you get the box. And no 2 boxes are really the same, because I have got so many little bits and pieces for putting in them and making up the packs. So if that sounds like something you would like to do, then I would highly suggest keeping it as a little advent for yourself. I think that would be quite nice to do. They are in my shop now as well. I hope this video has sort of come together the way it has in my head. I've really tried to make the past few weeks a bit more about taking time to do things that I enjoy, and actually making the time to do things that I enjoy, like reading my book, doing a bit of crocheting. I think it's so necessary, and I do admit I have neglected to do that for myself quite a bit lately, and I think autumn, winter is the perfect time to get back into the habit, especially on these dark cozy evenings or rainy chilly afternoons. It's the perfect time to get back into doing all your cozy hobbies and just doing things that you enjoy. We all know how good those things make us feel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next weekend already, when I can hopefully fit in a bit more of that, and I'd like to get my crochet blanket back out actually and start working on that and getting cozy underneath it. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you once again for joining me and watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.